Omoda is a fairly new brand to the UK, but you may have seen their dealerships cropping up all over the country. That's because they're doing things seriously, establishing a dealer network before they launched their vehicles. And in terms of the vehicles, they've come with the 5, the Omoda 5, a petrol, or this, the E5, which is their battery electric vehicle version. Now the two cars share a name, but interior-wise and exterior design, they are very different. The E5 makes use of modern design aesthetics, replacing the grille, which is not needed on a battery electric vehicle, with a nice solid area at the front, housing all of your ADAS sensors. This front panel here pops up, and that reveals the charging point where you can plug it in to your home or public charger. It's very flat front, but very smooth as well, and reminiscent of some other vehicle designs we see on the UK, which means it fits in well with this market. We have big lights down the front that give plenty of forward vision, and small LED strip lights that also highlight very much the road ahead, but can also stay on when you get home to give you a clear path to your front door. Very long bonnet emphasises the size of the car, but overall it really doesn't look out of place. And in this lovely jade green colour, it stands out that a little bit more than some EVs. Taking in the side profile, we can see this 4.4 metre long vehicle on its 2.6 metre wheelbase is quite chunky, very tall as well, around about 1.7 metres in height. We have really nice sweeping lines going across to the back, so these little boomerang LED lights that stick out here. We also have the current trend for the plastic alloy wheel protectors. They're flat to improve aerodynamic efficiency and therefore prevent drag, which can reduce range. Overall, it's got a decent stance, and with this roofline as well going into a rear spoiler, it looks pretty nice. This is the comfort version, so this is the base level, but still it stands out fairly nicely on the road. We have these little carbonite, if you like, plastic splash guards at the bottom, and some plastic trim around the wheel arches as well, but it's not all that intrusive, so I've seen worse. So it's a nice looking car from the side. Well, there's a bit too much plastic for my liking. I do like a nice colour coordination, but this is classed as an activity vehicle, so I guess that would help prevent scuffs or easy to replace if you're going up a steep incline. Now at the back we have those LED rear lights sweeping round, not into a light bar, but into a nice badge, still giving plenty of rear visibility if following. And despite the raised lip at the side of the car coming into this sweeping, almost boat-like back end, there's a really nice big rear window that gives great visibility. And then we also have a spoiler as well, which on the comfort is a nice touch. Now the boot is 380 litres. It's not exactly the biggest in its class, but it's sufficient to hold a couple of decent suitcases. There's also a flat floor, which makes it much easier to load, no lip. And underneath here, you have a spare wheel, a tyre inflator, and your electric charging cable as well. So it comes kitted out with everything you need to make sure that you get on the road and stay on the road. Oh, one more thing. When I said the 380 litre boot is perhaps not one of the biggest in its class, it's still good enough for a decent number of suitcases or a full weekly shop or half a weekly shop and your 12-year-old child. So very practical. Inside, and this is very different to the petrol Omoda 5, the dashboard's a little bit sparse, but it has a really nice wooden plastic panelling on it and faux leather as well to make it look a little bit more premium. We have two infotainment screens, one behind the driver's steering wheel to give all of the information needed, trip, speed, charge state, etc. And then the infotainment main screen itself, where you can house everything from your navigation, your audio playback, to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The seats are very comfortable. They're one piece. There's no separate headrest. So if you need to adjust it backwards and forwards, you're going to be making sure that you have to adjust it with your head and neck in mind as well. There's also this really nice center console which floats with a section underneath for increased storage. Now, it does protrude a little bit into the seatbelt buckle. It can be a little bit finicky to put your seatbelt on, but you have a cubby with a mobile phone wireless charger and drinks holder, a little tiny storage area for keys or whatnot, and then a bigger cubby as well. So you've got plenty of storage in here. But what I really like is the little gadgets and gizmos. For example, if you put your phone in here and shut it, when you leave, the car will actually tell you if you've left your phone in there. I've done that a few times. I am useless with my mobile phones. That's come in really handy. Now, some of the driving systems are located on the infotainment screen itself. State of charge, having to get the regenerative braking, for example, level 1, 2 or 3. You can set your driving modes by these little buttons here on the center console as well as turn the air conditioning on and off, but it can be a little bit fiddly, and you will get notified by the distraction warning that comes as standard now on all vehicles due to EU regulations. Now, in the back of the Omoda E5, it's actually not that bad. I've seen some reviewers say about a cramped headroom, but I'm 6 foot and I'm not too bad in here. I've also got plenty decent legroom. This seat is back almost as far as my driving seat, and I can still stretch out quite nicely. Now, the rear bench is a little bit more solid, but it's not too bad. I've also got a nice armrest here with, again, a couple of drinks holders there, so it makes it very handy for those travelling in the back, as well as a USB port and a USB-C port, as well as an individual vent. So all in all, it's very comfortable back here. You could definitely use this for a longer journey. Now, forgive the change of top, but it's warm in here. And I really want to talk about the driving in the Omoda 5, the E5, because it is quite smooth and comfortable. The ride is quite nice. There's a nice soft suspension, doesn't go too far in terms of wallowing and boating, but it does ride those inevitable potholes really, really well. You've got really nice forward front visibility. Now, the driver's seat is set a bit high, and it only tilts backwards and forwards in terms of height adjustment, but I don't mind that too much, mainly because it allows me to see over the bonnet and give me a higher driving point. Steering's very light and precise as well. One of the things I don't like is the level of ADAS. Now, you do get the good things. You get the intelligent cruise control, which brakes for the car in front, adjusts your lane keeping, and so on and so forth. And you do get the speed assist as well to see what speed limit is on the road and adjust to that. But then there's the distraction controls and things like that, which can bong at you incessantly. Now, you can turn those off, but they do come back on once you start the vehicle. That's not an Omoda problem. That is a general safety regulation problem dictated by the EU that all cars in the EU have to comply to. And car makers aren't going to build specific models for the UK. Now, the controls on the touchscreen, they do take a bit of getting used to, and there are a few menus you will have to go through in order to find your regenerative braking levels and so on and so forth, if you want to adjust volumes, etc. You do have some controls on the steering wheel, and you've also got a custom button that you can set. It's a nice, fun car to drive. It's not too strong, it's not too soft. It's a comfortable cruising vehicle, and I feel really at home in it already after a week's worth of driving, to be able to say that I do like this car. The power delivery is spot on. The range is working really, really well. 255 miles of range according to Omoda. And yeah, it's really pleasant. Everything's around me. I feel nice and cocooned and safe. Nice car to drive. So overall then, the Omoda E5 is a nice car to look at, a really nice car to drive, and a really good car to own. Yes, there may be more practical vehicles out there, and yes, there may be some with a longer range, but for a car maker that is new to the UK, they've come with the right attitude. With 130 dealers planned for the end of 2025, you're not going to have a problem with after-sales care. And it doesn't stand out on the UK roads, but it doesn't really need to. It's a good, efficient electric vehicle, at a very good price as well. £33,055 on the road for this base comfort model. So overall, you're getting a really decent sized car for a very good price. And if you want an electric vehicle, it's a good one to consider as a starter.